So hi and welcome to today's video. So today I'm going to be doing something a little bit different for me, and that is an interior clean video. So I actually managed to get my hands on this Clio again after cleaning the exterior and to give this a proper clean out. So it's not the worst interior I've seen in the world, but it's definitely in need of sprucing up. So I'm going to show you that full process here. So as with most interior cleaning videos, it's just going to start off with basically hoovering everything up and getting rid of as much as possible, so it's worth kind of taking the time to do this step and not kind of rushing it, although it feels like it's taking ages, which it definitely did here. It's good to do this step and to really kind of take as much time as possible, because otherwise it makes life a lot harder in the later kind of steps of this. So once I'd actually hoovered everything down, it was time to go ahead with the all-purpose cleaner and just to get all the surfaces as clean as possible. So I was using Built Hamber's Surf X HD at around 2% concentration here. So as you can see, the spray bottle is leaking because this head isn't designed for this bottle, but it did a decent job. I had to get the Surf X HD pretty much everywhere, so leaking wasn't too much of an issue here. But I just used this essentially all over the doors, all over the dashboard, and any of the surfaces really. It does work on everything. There wasn't any leather in this car to deal with, so you've not really got to worry about that using something quite aggressive here. I just wanted to get everything as clean as possible really. So as well as actually just going in with the microfiber and the Surf X HD, I also just used, this is actually GB Detailing's brush, so we do this brush in a pair, and it's quite a soft brush, so it's good to use on this kind of piano black trim. And I just used it to get out all sort of through all the climate controls and the vents and things like that, just to get those in as good a state as possible. So after that, it was time to move on to the wheel. So if I'm honest, considering the rest of the interior was pretty grubby, this actually wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. The car isn't driven too often really, and the steering wheel, to be honest, wasn't too bad. So I actually was just using Surf X HD here again, combination of the brush to get into some of the more intricate areas on the front of the wheel, but just generally using the microfiber towel to kind of work it in and just get off any sort of dirt, grease, oil, sweat, anything gross on the steering wheel, to get that in as good a state as possible, so it was left with that sort of matte finish and you know it's properly clean. So another area of the car that I really had to deal with was the centre console. So particularly this cup holder, there was apparently, I think it was chewing gum, sort of heated up in the sun and basically gone sticky and left a stain and basically left a mess in this area of the car. So just had to go in here and I just used Surf X HD again. You'll see this featuring quite a bit. I just think it does a good job. It foams up reasonably well as well when you're using a brush, but the surface really feels clean when you actually do it. So I also went on ahead and did the driver's side floor. So there was this kind of sort of rubber trim, I guess. I don't really know how to describe it, but this sort of section of the car where, particularly where the pedals are as well, I went in and used a stiffer brush here. So this was actually just a paintbrush at this point. And just give them a good scrub out, and then went ahead with the microfiber and mopped it all up at the end. So I also went ahead and did this technique on the pedals as well. It worked really well actually. I couldn't show you the pedals because I tried to film it and my head kept getting in the way, so apologies for that, but they came up pretty good. So after that, I just went ahead and did the door jambs. So again, I was actually just using Surf X HD here. On my own car, if I'm honest, I use a detail spray here, something with a bit more lubrication, but to be honest, this was just about getting it clean at this point. There was a lot of kind of algae sort of build up here, so it wasn't in an amazing state. It didn't look too good, so I just wanted to get it as clean as possible really before moving on. Then there was dealing with this stain on the seat, which wasn't great. It took a few hits, so I used Built Hamber's Surf X HD, surprise, again on this, showing that you don't need all the best products in the world to kind of deal with this. Of course, I've got quite a limited sort of set of tools in terms of interior detailing. I don't have anything fancy, I just have a standard hoover and some brushes and, you know, some cloth. So anyone can do this, pretty much anyone. I doubt anyone doesn't have this equipment who's watching this video. So then I used a foaming cleaner, so this is it just gives it a bit more of a deeper clean, and it also smells pretty nice because the car actually smelled of dog, so using something like this on the seats definitely helps to kind of boost the overall finish that you get at the end. When it smells good, it's always nice. And so then I went ahead and did the mats. The mats were in a really bad state, particularly on the driver's side. They weren't good at all. So I just went ahead and started hoovering them before using a foaming upholstery cleaner, again on this, just to give them as much of a scrub as possible with a brush as well. So quick note, I did do the back seats of this car, trust me I did, but it's a 3-door car and I couldn't get the camera in, so you'll have to trust me there. You've not missed out on anything particularly exciting, as the interior front seats were definitely worse than the back seats, so you know, you've not missed out, but trust me, I did do them. So once I'd gone ahead and actually really kind of given them a deep clean, these mats, what I found really helpful here was just to get the pressure washer out and just spray all that product away, because I used so much product getting them clean that I just didn't really want to leave it in the mats. So it took a while, but I had a while to work on this car and I had time for them to dry. So obviously, you know, you can't do this in a lot of cases if you've sort of valeted and things like that, but if you've got the luxury of time on your side here, this actually works really well, and it probably gets them looking as new as possible. These mats are very old, but it gets them looking probably in as best condition as you can really expect, if you remove all that product and just get them looking clean. So you can see that here. I think they came up pretty good, and to be honest, the owner was really happy with them. So after that, I just wanted to dress the plastics. So for this, I was using Bouncer's Inside Job. So it's a really nice one, this. It's really easy to use. It doesn't leave any streaks or anything like that. But it leaves a really nice natural finish. It doesn't really sort of change the appearance of the plastics too much. It just gives them sort of a refreshed look when they're a little bit tired, like this one was. And it's a completely matte finish. It's anti-static, so it just works really nicely. And then another Bouncer product here, so this is Bouncer's Look Sharp. It's just a glass cleaner, pretty standard, does a decent job and doesn't leave any streaks here either. So I have actually got a review, a few of these products were sent to me by Bouncer's wax, so I'll leave that in the description. So finally, just finished the car off with this air freshener. So this is a Pear Drops air freshener. The owner really liked it, so I just give that a few spritz on the mat. So here are the finished shots. I hope you found this video enjoyable and seeing this kind of transformation. Thank you very much for watching. If you have enjoyed it, it'd be fantastic if you could give it a like. Comment down below if you've got any questions about the products that I've used or any products that you recommend. It'd be great to hear, but thanks again for watching and I'll see you next time.